Most people don't really give much thought to their CPU cooler. It sits inside the case, hidden away, quietly handling one of the most important jobs in the entire system, keeping temperatures under control. But the moment you start pushing your PC harder, whether it's gaming, editing, rendering, or heavy multitasking, that small component becomes critical. Because when thermals go up, performance doesn't just slow down. It gets restricted. That's where the Cooler Master ML240 ARGB ARGB liquid CPU cooler comes in. At first glance, it looks exactly like what you'd expect from a modern 240mm AIO liquid cooler. A dual fan radiator setup, flexible tubing, a pump head with RGB lighting, and a design clearly meant to be showcased inside a glass PC build. But the real value isn't in how it looks. On paper, you're looking at fan speeds up to 2000 revolutions per minute, airflow around 66.7 CFM, and a noise level that can drop as low as 15 dBA. Those numbers suggest a focus on balanced cooling performance with an emphasis on quiet operation. And that balance is what defines this cooler. Modern CPUs don't behave like older generations. They spike quickly, hold high loads for longer periods, and require consistent cooling rather than short bursts of airflow. So the real question isn't whether it can cool a processor. It clearly can, but how stable it stays under sustained pressure. Installation is relatively simple. The mounting hardware feels straightforward, and the tubing provides enough flexibility to fit into most mid-tower and full-tower cases without unnecessary strain or awkward positioning. Once installed and powered on, the visual identity becomes immediately noticeable. The ARGB lighting activates smoothly, producing a clean glow that enhances the build without overwhelming it. It fits naturally into modern PC aesthetics where subtle lighting is preferred over aggressive RGB effects. But aesthetics are only the surface layer. Performance is where things matter most. At idle or during light tasks, the cooler is nearly silent. Fan speeds remain low, temperatures stay stable, and the system feels completely calm in the background. In everyday use, it practically disappears. When the workload increases, gaming, creative applications, or multitasking, the behavior changes gradually and intelligently. Instead of sudden noise spikes, the fans ramp up in a controlled curve. This creates a smoother, more refined experience even when the system is under pressure. Thermal performance remains consistent even during extended workloads, which is where many cooling solutions start to struggle. Short bursts are easy. Sustained heat management is what truly matters. Even at higher loads, the acoustic profile remains controlled. Rather than sharp or irritating fan noise, it produces a steady airflow sound that is easier to tolerate during long sessions. Of course, there are trade-offs. Like most RGB-focused AIO coolers, part of what you're paying for includes aesthetics and lighting design. The pump styling, RGB integration, and visual presentation are clearly aimed at users who want both performance and a visually appealing build. For some users, that's a major advantage. For others, it may not matter as much. However, the key point is that performance is not sacrificed for design. Both aspects are balanced in a way that neither heavily compromises the other. And that's what defines this category of CPU cooling today. Modern cooling solutions are no longer just about achieving the lowest temperature for a few seconds. They are about long-term stability, consistent performance, and maintaining system efficiency under continuous load. This cooler sits in that balanced category, focused on reliability, predictability, and practical real-world performance rather than extreme benchmark numbers. It doesn't try to reinvent the category. It focuses on doing the fundamentals correctly. And in real-world PC building, that's often more valuable than peak specifications. Because what matters most isn't how a cooler performs in short tests, but how it behaves during long gaming sessions or heavy workloads. So whether you're building a new gaming PC, upgrading from a stock air cooler, or improving thermal performance in your current setup, a 240mm AIO like this remains a solid practical choice. It's not about hype or marketing. It's about balance, stability, and dependable cooling performance.